Hey, it's Linslow. I just want to say thanks for stopping by. I am so happy you are here. We are building an indoor roller rink, and this is for all ages in The Sims 4. I made it so that it's a teenage hangout and that, it's a convivial lot. So you can really just have a bunch of people over. This is heavily inspired by one of my recent videos, which ranked our most realistic expansion packs. And one of them was Seasons. And in Seasons, we were able to get a roller rink, and I needed to dive into it. I was like, I know we can have bowling alleys, not the typical lot, but we have bowling things, we have roller rinks, so let's make a build about it. So let's grab everything we're going to need and get right into this build. We've already started working on the outside. We have a nice parking lot. It's not huge, but it is pretty decent. I end up moving the cars over and adding a bike kind of thing so I can put it there. And then I just needed to have, this little space for a bunch of trees and shrubs. And so I add this one right next to the parking lot, and there's one over to the right of, or left if you're looking head on to the bowling alley, closer to that tree over there. You can see I'm starting to work on it now. I end up adding a little covering area, a little seating area over there towards the end of this build. I'm really happy with the way this looks, and I really hope you are. I end up gravitating towards a black and white, which I usually do in most of my builds. So if you are new to the channel, that is something that you will definitely be seeing. But if you aren't, you already know, and I'm happy about it. So I do drift into color. The color in this one tends to be blue, and that translates on this first level, and then I end up figuring out that I want a second level towards the end of this build as well. And that one is more so, I would say, for adults, because we have a little bar, there's a seating area with a stage, as well as a grand piano, and then a little lounge area. And I felt like that was just really a place for adults to just hang out and chill, away from children and teenagers who just enjoy being around this entire roller rink and the gaming and things like that. So this was supposed to be a completely different space, but until we get to that one, we're going to focus on this bottom level that has the roller rink. I end up adding a bathroom, and both of them have the toddler or infant changing table. And I really like this one because it allows for that flexibility. So if you do bring your infants into this roller rink, you have a place to change them. And I felt like that was amazing. I needed to have that here, so I didn't want to hold back on that. And then I also have a little employee break room and then an employee bathroom, as well as having a little desk for employees to check people in. Although, that's not going to happen really in The Sims 4, but just to make it a little bit more realistic, I needed to add that little desk. They have shoes there. The shoes are from the bowling stuff pack, so let's not really get into the specifics. Let's not really look too close into it because you'll see bowling shoes, but let's assume they are skates. But that's one thing that I actually like about this season's expansion pack, is because it doesn't come with just roller rinks. It has ice skating rinks as well, and it comes with nice uniforms and everything. It's like you can really make an entire skill out of it, even though it's really going off the fitness skill, which I feel like they could have given us like a small little 5-level skill that they did with photography, something similar to that with ice skating. But I digress. It is a fitness kind of thing, so it would make sense that it would be under fitness. I would have just loved to have an ice skating skill or roller skating skill, something similar to that, but that's okay. I loved building this, and it really allowed me to work a little bit more with commercial building, so I'm not too mad about it. I add these vending machines. One is just for like snacks, and the other one is for like cooler drinks and things. And then I also wanted to add that big gaming thing. I rarely get to use that. I don't think I've used it in many of my builds because I do build a lot of homes and I try to gear them more to be a little bit more realistic. So I haven't really used that. But then again, I literally just used a huge karaoke machine. So I don't really think I can have that excuse anymore. So I ended up using that. I did place the bar on the first level at first, but then I was just like, I should move that. So I do end up moving it. And in the end, I think I like that it's at the top again because it's just like another space for the adults to go. And I add a door to the stairs so you can actually close it off to children. I'm not sure if it does that, but I'm pretty sure we can work around it. So we can figure that part out. And then I go right into this little break room. And for this one, I just wanted to add some chairs. I need to add some lockers here so they can put their personal items. And then I end up adding like a little end table with some magazines. It really needed to feel like a break room for me. And directly over, you see that door. That is where I end up placing the bathroom, and it's just a half bath. It's not a lot going on in there. It's not a lot going on in the break room as well. So I just needed a little something, and then that's when I end up working over here, and it does end up changing. I still end up using that little jukebox that we have, but I do end up changing its placement, and then also that's where the stairs go. And I end up adding a TV, but I end up really loving this idea of as soon as you walk in, there are these chairs and everything. So I do end up leaving that, but I felt like I needed to have those chairs and the desks and everything because they have this vending machine and you're gonna have to eat it. I don't think they want to necessarily eat it, sitting at the chairs. So I definitely felt like it was a little fitting for me to use the dining chairs and everything. I love the carpet that I placed in this main area. It came from Discovery University and I absolutely needed to use it because I felt like this needed to be a little bit fun, but also at, a mild level, and that allowed me that. It was either that or the dirtier carpet from Cedar Living, and I wasn't about to put that down, so I needed that. I ended up trying to use that tile that we just saw in the bathroom, but it was a little bit older, so I do end up changing that out to be a more modern tile. I think I ended up going for white or gray, and that is that. I ended up going for a little bit more modern in the bathrooms in general. I did have to look at that little debug thing because I was like, hold on, wait, that's kind of cool. So I might end up building something on that later, but until then, I realized that I was in the middle of building and I had to get out of that. So I made a little bit of the realistic touches here, and that's just putting a little bit of dirt around everything, and that's when I moved everything over. I needed to add this bike rack. I needed to have the children's there, and then also some adult bikes. So I needed to move that over, and it was at this exact moment that I realized I wanted to add an upstairs for just the adult Sims or adult or elderly Sims. So I needed to add this, and I wanted a little sage area, but this ended up being the little lounge area, and I had to knock it down a few because it looked like Sims wouldn't be able to walk through it, and that wasn't going to happen. So I do end up toning it down just a little bit, but this is really the gist of it. I have a bar over in the corner. I have a little seating area, and then there's also a grand piano and dance area and lounge area. So I wanted there to be a lot of different things for the adult Sims to be able to do when they go up there, but also have it really tailored to what could be in a bowling alley. Now, I know I did go a little bit outside of the realistic realm when I added the grand piano, but I was like, it's entertainment. Who knows? It might not be classical music people are playing there, but it could be like a little fun note or something. There could also be like, adults night, and it's just adults playing, so maybe it's like smooth jazz. I don't know. I really start to get into what could possibly happen in the game, and you can allow your Sims to hire entertainers and things like that. And so that's really where my mind drifts when I start to add objects like that. but I really, really love this couch that we get. It's not really a couch, it's more like a bench. I rarely use it. I don't think I've used it before, but I'm happy that I was able to use it in this one because it gave this sleek, modern look, exactly what I was looking for, and I felt like it matched the chairs that I end up using. So I needed to use that. I end up adding this karaoke machine here, and then like just some of those curtains behind that window or in front of that window, just so it can show like a little bit of privacy, but also allow for some of the spotlight to be on the sim that's performing or sims that's performing. And I wanted that to really be the spotlight there. So I feel like I needed to add that. And then I end up adding this little foosball table. It's not foosball in The Sims 4, but that's what it is IRL. So I need to add that. And then these benches are really nice, and I end up adding a TV there. I love the way that this ends up looking. I really wish we were able to get a roller rink kind of lot type or anything, but since we don't, I was able to put this in as a generic lot. So if you do want to download this, it is already up on the gallery. You just have to filter for a generic lot and you should be able to see it. This was actually for the Tranquil Crescent lot, so if you do want to download it, you can search up that name and then also as a generic lot. But as you can see here, I'm just placing that grand piano. I did want to add the darts there, and I would have loved to if I had a little bit more space, but I didn't want the bulk of this build to end up being this upstairs adult area, so I don't end up using it. I end up changing the darts out that you see over there to end up having just lights that are kind of attached to the ceiling and to the wall, and I felt like that was really going along with what the theme was in here. I end up changing a lot of things, but I love the way it ends in the end. I end up adding some counters over by the bar. I end up adding a little end table as you first walk up. I did want to play with adding a little wall there, but with the windows right next to the stairs, I felt like that just wasn't the best idea, so I do end up doing that. But I did want to add a little few things of decoration here at the counter because I felt like this is all they had. They didn't have, much else. So everything that they have at the bar, they get from these counters. There's no refrigerator, there's nothing else. So I'm not completely sure how that works because I would assume that the refrigerator is kind of built into the bar. So I'm not too worried about that, but I did want to add a few more things of decoration, and that comes with taking some of the paintings off the gallery, as well as adding in, some of the things that I thought would go on the floor and on the walls. So I really hope this works. Since we are nearing the end of this build, I just want to remind you that if you want to download this, it's already up in the gallery. It's under Linslow by choice. And then also, this is under a generic lot, so if you do want to download it, you do have to filter for that. This is specifically for the Tranquil Crescent lot, but it will work for all lots that are at or under the dimensions that you see on the Tranquil Crescent lot. So if you want to do that, it is under Linslow by choice, as well as all my other socials, those being TikTok and Instagram. So check me out there or hang out with me there if you'd like to. Also, if you enjoyed building with me and everything, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would love that, as well as clicking the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I post new videos, which I do try to post as frequently as I can. And I just want to let you know that I had an amazing time building this. I can't wait to get into the next video. If you do want to watch the next video, go ahead and do that. I have so many uploads right now. I really hope you enjoyed this again, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoy these screenshots. Bye.